This is Diesel for We the People News. I'm mainly on here to kind of explain myself, and before we get too further ahead, I'm not an attorney. Whatever I say, just take it with a grain of salt. If you have any problems, I suggest you go check out an attorney. Wink, wink, wink. I don't never want to be an attorney. Don't care to be an attorney. I don't want to be bound to bar unions to tell me what I can and cannot do. Because, y'all, I'm my own man. And I'm talking to y'all as a man, or to a woman. I'm not talking to you as you being a person, a human, or anything like that. That's beneath you. The greatest gift we have is calling each other men and women. You download your status to slavery when you enter this man-made names. Crater says I was a man. I believe him or her. Crater says you're a woman. I believe him or her. The one thing I don't trust beyond a shadow of doubt 100% is any man. Every man, every woman lies in their lifetime. So some of y'all, are kind of thinking I'm weird and all that kind of stuff. Is it weird to study and learn? Is it weird to second guess the government that you don't trust? Some of y'all love Biden. Is it weird to second guess him? Some of y'all love Trump. Is it weird to second guess him? Some of y'all love police. Is it weird to second guess them? Some of y'all love the governor. Is it weird to second guess them? Is it weird that they can lie to you? Is it weird that every one of y'all trust judges? They're liars too. Is it weird to trust attorneys and not to second guess them? Most people I know don't trust attorneys, but they use them because they're not capable enough to stand in the courts with themselves. They get scared, and that's what the whole purpose is. The government's got and I can't even say government. Really, the attorney and the bar associations is the one that really screwed everything up. If we can just actually have a regular attorney without the bar association and hold the attorneys liable, more power to us. We have more freedom and all that. But they got their noses in every little bitty thing. All right, Councilman, Mayor, can I ask you a question? Oh, you got to talk to my attorney. Officer, can I ask you a question? Oh, you got to talk to my attorney. Oh, President, can I ask you a question? You got to talk to my attorney. How did attorneys get so in depth into everything? If we cannot regress our government, what good is it? Because redress of our government is them supposed to give us answers. It's not just that we get to speak out and say this, and this, and not get an answer. They are supposed to give us answers. They are our employees. But we, the people, are being bowing down because of threat of violence. And because the lawyers and judges has so diluted our laws and our Constitution and our state constitution to non-existence. Ask all the innocent people that's went to jail. Ask all the innocent people that went to prison. That's the reason why the Constitution was so hard of arresting people. It was not supposed to be easy. I believe it was the Founding Fathers, but one of them said, and I may be wrong about the Founding Fathers, but one of them said, I think it was John Adams, says that we gave you a republic. It's up to y'all to keep it. Every day, we literally actually have to challenge the government officials to keep our rights. We're not supposed to have civil law in our country. We're not supposed to have codes and statutes and all this kind of stuff. And speaking of which, where in the world do judges get authority in your court to tell you cannot record yourself in your court, on your court case? The judges that don't have that authority. The reason why they have it is because you gave it to them. You became the slave and not the master. And you can say this and this and this, but that. You know, look at it this way. We got a Constitution. We're supposed to have common law they never use correctly. And they have civil law. Alright? But it's been so diluted that civil law contradicts common law. Common law is supposed to go together with the Constitution. But civil law conflicts with common law and the Constitution all the time. Alright? For instance, the state of Texas, it's not the Second Amendment, but I said this in another video, I believe now, since I brought it up. Federal law says we have a right to bear arms and shall not be infringed. Texas law says, well, we're allowed to put a restriction. Wrong. Because the Texas Second Amendment is supposed to coincide with the federal government. In fact, Texas can give you more freedom with it. The federal government may say, hey, you can't have machine guns. But the state of Texas can say, yes, you can. It gave more power to the people. But Texas cannot say less power than what the federal government says. It cannot really contradict itself against our freedom, y'all. It can go with more freedom, but it cannot go with less. The federal government can't say apple and then Texas say orange. Nope, it has to be an apple or an apple. Civil law, 100% the time, goes against the Constitution. Now, they'll throw the Constitution in there to trick you into these things. All right? For me, I'm a man. I act as one of the people sometimes when I stand up for the people's rights. But I'm not a person. That's man-made law. I'm not a human being. Human being was 13th century. That's man-made. Taxpayer. I'm not a taxpayer. I'm for it under threat of duress and violence. I'm not willing to pay taxes for my country or my state to give it out to other people overseas to enslave their people. That makes me evil. Why would I want to give them $3 billion to enslave their own people? Why in the world would I want to give my country any money to go against my way of thinking? You know, the government's job is only one thing. Or actually two things. I apologize. All right? It is there foremost as to protect our rights. Our inalienable rights. And they are there for if I cause harm upon another one, decipher what was the cause and effect of the action and try to do judgment best as they can with the knowledge that we provide them. But if I cause harm to another man or another woman, that's what the courts are there for. But it must be a living man or woman. State of Texas is not a man or a woman. They cannot file complaints. And nobody else can file the complaints for their behalf. Somebody hit me, I need to file a complaint against that guy. Now, a witness can sign for being a witness, but cannot file a complaint because the witness was not harmed. I, a man, was harmed. So the state of Texas cannot be harmed because it's not a living thing or a living man or woman. It's a thing. It has no feelings. It's never been injured. All right? We'll go within guidelines with common sense, okay? Yeah, if you destroy a building, okay? Government didn't get injured, by the way. As of today, that was the taxpayer. That's the people got injured. The group. If a building got destroyed with a bomb, well, that affects the neighbors in that township. All right? Whether they pay taxes or not. That gives them argument, say, court. Now they had to have another court built. But that town didn't get injured. It was the people in the group that got injured. My deal is, I'm a living man. No more, no less. And it's just plain out rude to call me any other name. I'm not human. I'm not a person. I'm not a taxpayer. I'm not a resident. That's my property. I didn't give them authority over my property. voluntarily. Why would I want to pay taxes for them to overspend? It's under threat. Again, y'all, I'm going to explain this. Every single law is under threat of violence. This is Jason for We the People News. Bye, y'all.